It changes week to week, season to season, but the one thing I've always loved about tax is the variety. I'd left for industry once upon a time. I came back into public accounting because it's that variety that keeps me. Both my parents were in the business world, and I've always loved numbers, loved math, and I just figured somehow numbers and math and business would come together. I didn't think accounting, to be honest. That wasn't something until late high school, but I just always knew as a kid it'd be something with numbers. I was leaning more towards something in science. I just was convinced I'd be somewhere in there, but at least I'm working with numbers all the time. People wonder what we do in tax. People think tax, they think we're just filing a bunch of tax returns all day, and it's actually completely different. Especially as a tax partner, a lot of our time is spent on the tax advisory, tax planning. We're really problem solvers. We're finding solutions for our clients, whether they're selling a business, buying a business, whether they're looking at succession planning or estate planning. Maybe they need to change their org structure to find a more tax efficient way. Maybe they just want to have some holistic advisory on, are they doing things the best way that they could? And so the reason I say problem solving is they usually come with a problem. They usually recognize there's something wrong or that they could do something better, and we help them get there. I'm gonna do two words if that's okay. And I'm gonna say problem solver. That's what we do. Sometimes refer to us as the problem solving department. When something's too complicated, when something just is difficult to figure out, it's a complex situation, we often can find a solution for it, and that's what we do. I'd say there's two favorite parts of a day. One part is on the client side, when you're having those face-to-face conversations, helping them find those solutions. Just that feeling of you're helping someone else, and often they let that be known. The client expresses their appreciation about just helping them get to where they knew they wanted to go. They just didn't know how to get there. The other piece is on the team, seeing the team grow and develop, and those times where you get that question or that answer from somebody that you've just seen from where they started to where they are now. We're successful because of the people we're surrounded by, and so seeing how they've grown and developed and excelled in their careers, there's just that ongoing achievement that just feels fantastic and feels like being a part of their success. When I look at a day, those two pieces are where I get a lot of that satisfaction. And because of what we do, because of the advisory side, and often there's a transaction component that creates tight deadlines, let alone certain filing obligations, either related to some of the transactions or just some of the other annual, monthly, quarterly type of filing obligations. We deal with a lot of deadlines. And so the deadlines is probably the most challenging piece. As much as our work is very complicated in tax, that's the fun part, navigating tax law, trying to find those solutions. That's enjoyable, although very complicated and challenging. It's challenging in the right way. I think it's the impact that you make on other people's lives. I've had a number of clients who have come back after what we thought was a really simple filing, it was a simple, transaction or something that we just do day to day, nothing special. And they come back week or months later and say, that changed my life. I was so fixated on getting that done. I was holding up all sorts of decisions, and now I can get on with my life. Now I can look ahead. And just hearing that, it was just that aha moment that some of the little things we do that we take for granted actually meaningfully impact their day-to-day lives. It's not these big glorified transactions or these big plans. They do have a huge impact, but even the small things do. And that it just makes your day. When you hear something like that, it just absolutely makes your day. That was a surprise to me in what we do, that how meaningful it is. I think one of the core values that we see quite frequently is do the right thing always. Tax can be black and white, but there's a fair bit of gray area. And often we're that sort of that common sense, that path of ethics and morals that say, we have to do the right thing, and we have to do it all the time. And so when you're navigating some of those gray areas, it's being comfortable that we're doing the right thing, that we're on side, we're helping the client achieve what they want to achieve, but in the proper way. and to find that solution, making sure that we're not putting them at risk, we're not putting ourselves at risk. The think team first, I think that's always an easy one in our department, where we're so people focused and everyone's always looking out for each other. And so that's one where we see all the time, and from a mentorship, from a coaching and development, making sure we're getting them further along in their career and thinking about them as opposed to just the work that they can do. And so we're just seeing that every day. If I could give advice to my younger self, it'd be one word, it would be patience. It'd be take your time, go slow. It's not a race. You'll get there eventually. Just enjoy the journey, keep being inquisitive, ask lots of questions, and take more time to enjoy the world, explore. I definitely felt like I rushed things a bit myself, so definitely slow down and enjoy the journey. I'm Brent. Thank you for watching Personality Behind the Numbers.